Yeah, that's true.
Yao and Xiao.
Call them the blood brothers, you know.
Why is that?
Been together.
Just together forever.
Yeah, forever, since forever, and they wanted to play together. Oh, there we go, the silencer.
It's like no tail and fly.
To deal with the Knicks. I know Ted doesn't like this.
Oh, I hate that hero.
You hate playing that hero, or you hate
No, I hate
playing
it full
against the
stop. I don't
hero?
want anything to do with him. He shouldn't be in the game.
What, does the global silence?
It's just the whole thing is fucking stupid. It's like having a game where you can all have fun and then all of a sudden it's like, well, there's no more game for this. It's the worst thing in the game. It should not exist.
How does it compare to Alchemist though?
Alk, I mean, geez, you know, you can beat Alk. He doesn't just have to press one
Oh
button.
gosh, we have an alchemist hater, we have a silencer
Oh.
hater.
You guys
Fuck
just...
techies while we're at it.
Techies is fun. Come on, Techies!
Nah, remove him from the game.
Winter loves everything, right?
I'm Winter.
I bet there's heroes Winter hates.
Yeah, Winter, come on. We're all hating something.
A hero you hate playing as, against, you hate him.
Oh.
Say it like you mean it.
Meepo. I hate playing Meepo in C-pubs.
Yeah. Not a fan. And yet your friends at Warriors Gaming are big fans of him.
You want to win Dota, you know? I'm just trying to have fun in the pub, you know?
You want to win. He's just playing for the bans. Got some new bans coming in, and it's going to be another respect ban almost. Morphling's going to be taken away.
Still got the tag on that hat, just in case you could take it back after the event's over, eh?
Yeah. Well, we've got you on camera now. I'm going to send your photo to the secret shop.
Do not refund this hat.
Yeah. But this time the Ursa will be still open. Finem banned out the Ursa the first 2 games, and this game they chose to remove the bounty, so that's going to be available for LGD, and they're on the Dire side.
They need still have one more ban too though. They could target. They've already targeted one of ZYF's heroes. So we'll take.
I mean, Ursa or Lifestealer would be really good. Like both of those heroes are very good in the lane against Knicks, and obviously Lifestealer you already have the vehicle with the Bat Rider, so that would be a lot of synergy with those 2 picks. Plenty of good options here for LGD.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, that is the Oracle.
It's Oracle.
Yeah, it's
It's not Chan, it's not
not.
Omni Knight, it's Oracle.
Of course.
Of course it is. Looks a bit like Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka.
It does.
You're turning violet, Violet! Like 4 people that know that reference. Still, Nyx and Rubik for Finem, and Silencer and Batrider making head puke.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
I mean, the Nyx Rubik is like, again, an opening that very similar to the Rubik Sankin. You don't know where is it going. And whereas for the Silencer Batrider, very clear. Team fight, very strong team fight. They jump in, they pop the global, they're gonna decimate you from the map. That's their plan.
And I mean, it's such a great storyline when you remind everyone that Spartan, captain of his team, is drafting against one of the most highly regarded
Gosh, look at the
captains
bans.
of LGD.F.Y.
Those are really targeted bans at
They are.
what heroes
that-
that they are good at.
Or it's like
Wow.
you're going into an elimination match at Finamara team who want to stick. You expect them to stick to their guns, so you may as well ban out.
Yeah, I don't
Somewhere-
mind playing against Alchemist. I'm not giving you your puck.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
That's what he's basically.
Jiaowei-
That's what he's saying.
I mean, this
right now.
guy's been in so many Game 3 deciders, elimination matches. He kind of knows, like, he probably knows better than that Finem know, like, what they're going through and the kind of pressure they're dealing with. And that you're in that position, you're always going to pick to your strengths as a team.
Lifestealer.
Dire team pick.
Ursa Warrior.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Mirana.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Sand King.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Outworld Devourer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle. Thirty seconds to battle. The battle begins.
First blood, last word. I was meant to have this.
The prize is mine.
Greedy enough to go back for the bottle refill. But
Yes.
he's just super conservative. He's like, I'm okay with getting less farm as long as it's for the good of the team, and losing the courier is definitely a bad thing. But maybe next time, still hovering around that area, he is ready for perhaps a chicken gank. He smoked up in between the T1 and the T2. What is he waiting for?
Bottom lane, Xiaoweight's trying to chase down Spartan. The Invis rune will be picked up by
He's going for the
Super here,
chicken
but
kill
he's
right
still
now.
going for the dive in. Maybe next time trying to get the courier, but at the same time, Spartans push all the way back to the tier 2. Neither one will result in a kill.
They wasted a smoke for that.
Not looking good for Finem here, as LFY are taking quite the lead when it comes to the laning phase. They do have an Alchemist that's going to kind of boost numbers quite a bit. Oh, there goes the first OD imprisonment into the arrow. It is going to be on point here. Looks like this could be a first kill for Finem. They're going to jump in, increase that attack speed, trying to finish off Super. They'll be able to get that kill. DDC as a support can't really do much with the silencer.
Much needed kill for them. And LFY, their goalie, is not really that great, all things considered, and maybe next time has done a great job of slowing down the neutraling. And Xiao8 will run into Spartan. He's in a lot of trouble.
He does have telekinesis, and the arrow is also here. It will nail Zhao Wei with, oh, nice interception there. Yao's going to be able to get the Burrow Strike onto Madara, but it doesn't seem to be enough. The open wounds on Zhao Wei, that stun just lasted too long. And Finem strike once again as soon as we start saying bad things about their laning phase. They show us what's up. They get a couple of ganks in and start altering their fate.
Yeah, maybe next time it has to do the work in the early game, be around, just constantly threaten this Alchemist. He's a little bit scared. Arrow goes out in mid. It will be dodged, and Super does have an invisibility rune.
A full assault coming into the bottom lane. They have the silencer wrapping around here. They're going to try and lead off onto the Lifestealer. Lifestealer's going to be chased down. He doesn't actually have the mana. Unfortunately, he does have base boots. Telekinesis will also be able to buy him a bit of space. Yao doesn't have the mana to be able to work with either. Slowly but surely taken down. It looks like the Caustic Finale. Is that going to be enough? 6 HP. That's all the Madara has. They will manage to get the Rubik. Yao's going to go down, though, in return. Skylark does manage to help get that one. Arrow? Oh, maybe next time. He keeps on feeling these arrows, and he's just barely off the mark. Maybe they can still catch up, though. Or maybe not. They actually have no leap for 15 seconds. Skylark, if he lands this impale, he got him. Now they can actually close the distance and will manage to get the kill.
And they had vision up there too. They had a high ground observer ward on that arrow. Very predictable, but it was right at the core. He did not want to run into Skylark at that moment. And
Arrow comes out. Super is hasted.
He's low, and he's not level 6 yet. Just 1 or 2 more creeps, and the reinforcements start coming in. Yao TP's right behind DDC.
Skylark, help. Oh, nicely timed leap there, right as Yao went for the Burrow Strike.
That's so hard to do as a Mirana. You want to do it instantly, but you also want to make him waste his Burrow Strike. Skylark.
When counter ward is there.
Yeah, they were attacking the Observer Ward. Unfortunately, they don't have a sentry to get rid of their sentry, and Xiao looks like he will be able to get the rune or get that ward at the end of the day.
I mean, it was a great idea, right? LFY came forward with this aggressive maneuver, tried to create space. Oh, nice play in the Caustic Finale. Skylark, what a genius. He sees the Caustic Finale about to go down right as the Sand King right-clicks the creep. He pops the Spike Carapace from Invis, instantly stunning Yao, and managed to line that up nicely with an Impale.
And now the Roshan Ward Wars begin. Maybe next time. He went into the Roshan pit, but instead of laying it on the right side where Xiao was napalming, he places it a little bit to the left. And hopefully that will be enough for them to keep that ward up. But fortunately for them, DDC just eats it.
And gone. Whole team spending so much time around this Roshan, expending so many resources. We have 2 wards down from Adfinem around that pit, 1 ward from LFY, as well as a very deep ward. They try to move aggressively to be able to buy end space to be able to take that Roshan, but Adfinem are just not letting them have it. So N is back to farming up that top lane, and we'll try and push into that tier 1, forcing some rotations.
There were no heroes up in the top lane for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Like everyone was fighting down on bottom, knowing that if LFY get like 1 or 2 kills, it's the easy rush for them, and Adfinem, they're like, no, we are not letting you get Roshan.
They know exactly how this whole entire lineup is going to start scaling. But if they're stopping the Ursa, what are they doing to stop this Alchemist? DDC going to be blown apart here, looks like. Oh, barely! 14 HP, just a stick is what separates him from life and death. Thug missing out another kill, and all the meanwhile, like, these little plays are happening. The Alchemist is just farming away in the jungle. Adfinem, they need to keep that in mind, even if they are keeping the Ursa at bay from Roshan. There is this ticking time bomb that's going on.
Yeah, Alchemist, his net worth is not even that high. They haven't been able to control the rune just because maybe next time it's just all around that bottom rune and all over Xiao this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's shutting down 2 heroes at the same time.
Yeah.
Alchemist as well as Batrider are basically having half the game that they should, because maybe next time's disruptive performance on this Mirana first rotation is going to come out from Skylark. They're going to be able to use this Vendetta as a vehicle for the first Lifestealer rotation. Now, the Infest, this should be just like an instant kill if they can actually find a hero. They're going to see for a moment DDC, and they're going to go for the long-range Impel? No. They're looking for the Alchemist. That's what they want.
Radiant has used scan. They're looking for the Alchemist. He is invisible. Is he going to reveal himself as the Iron Talons this creep?
Oh, he's thinking about it. He's got the Chemical Rage up, but I think LFY know what's going down. It's wearing out. Super shows himself now, but it's a bit too late. Skylark, they're going to pop out, and that is the first failed gank of Adfinem. Now it's going to be LFY's turn to respond. They know Infest is down.
Oh, Rubik's stolen Burrow Strike.
Oh, that's a great pickup.
That is indeed. You'll see a lot of the offlaners pick up level 1 Sandstorm. It's incredibly important against a Rubik, but at the same time, maybe he didn't expect Rubik to be level 6 at the same time as Yao.
Yeah.
Spartan, he's died twice. He's actually level 7.
And thanks in part to that disastrous start for Madara. The early solo experience has allowed Spartan to do a whole lot, but will it be enough for him to escape from this attempted gank from LFY? Ursa shows himself, while Yao wraps himself around with the Tranquil Boots. You also have Xiao Wei in the back lines here, covering the retreat potentially. He's going to cut off the creep wave and bring it into the neutrals. Now, Rubik actually thinks they can pull this all off. He's going to try and cut off the Batrider, get its telekinesis Burrow Strike combination, but can't quite reach it.
But look at End. He already started on Roshan, knowing that without the creep wave, they have to venture into this area alone. And he, with his Mask of Madness, is already at 75%.
Oh, that's going to nail End. That's real bad, because already Adfinem started making the rotations.
And the Fury Swipe stacks are off. This is
Skylark's going to be able to come in. They already have the Infest Bomb. Fortunately, Yao is going to be able to intercept that, allowing N to be able to get away, but it's going to cost Yao his life, it seems. The Sandstorm is just not enough. 2 down from LFY. Fortunately, Roshan is not low enough for Adfinem to intercept, but that is the second go at stopping LFY in their game plan of being able to achieve in early Aegis.
Oh, and the Arrow scouts out this large Ancient stack, and a lot of experience will be going the way of Adfinem, while the Acid Spray ticks a little bit for Super, and Xiao Wei also trying to absorb a little bit of experience on his own. And currently Adfinem are losing the ward battle over there, but they have so many heroes over there that Ursa just does not dare venture into the Roche pit.
Whew, look at that. That net worth. Adfinem are actually up 2k. So their laning phase went a whole lot better.
Skylark's playing so well this game on the next session.
Yeah.
He's constantly threatening LFY.
Barely off the marker there. The timing just not quite right to catch the Ursa in mid. Meanwhile, there's a trio pushing out the bottom lane, but they're going to be met by LFY and their aggressive plays.
All it takes is one big fight for LFY for them to get Roche.
Yeah.
At Finem, they cannot be too hasty in this pushing of the T1 tower.
Especially when they're pushed that far forward, away from their tier 1 tower, away from those TP rotations.
Haste rune on Thug. If he connects with an Astral, it could be the end. But LFY, they actually have global
Strike
strike
already up. They're going to be able to catch. Oh no, the missed impale from Skylark. He still managed to get away, it looks like. The arrow comes out. Ursa holds, but actually nails Xiao Wei. They're going to be able to translate a kill onto Yao into a kill on Xiao Wei as well. And Finem locking down the Roshan. They are giving absolutely no holes in their game plan when it comes to defending this bottom lane. Now, a rotation out from Finem up to the top lane. Thug is going to be able to get the imprisonment. Rubik's going to be able to follow that one up. The full force of Finem is here, but no! A global silence is forced, at least.
Definitely worth it. 4 TPs for a global silence, and he sees 4 heroes up there. He immediately goes to Roche.
This time
They're
around,
pinging so
and he's
crazily.
licensed up to these arrow plays. He's going to put himself behind Roshan.
Uh-oh. Maybe next time he's in there alone. Xiao 8 hot on his trail looking for the lasso.
Maybe next time he's going to try and leave himself away. Xiao 8 hot in his trail, but it looks like they've given enough space for this Ursa to be able to finish up Roshan finally. The arrow comes out, not going to land on anybody. Rubik comes forward and actually going to be tagged by Yao. There is an imprisonment save. Madara is going to try and slow down Yao. They actually push forward, trying to get the impale. They land it. That'll be a kill. LFY, they responded really well with that global silence, with the mass rotations up the top lane, immediately translating that into an Aegis for themselves, but Finem still find at least a pick-off in Yao. This Blink Dagger is going to be so slowed down for the Sand King. Not for End, though. Mask of Madness phase boots into a straight-up Blink Dagger. He's planning to be the main initiator for LFY in these next few minutes when Yao cannot.
Yeah, remember when Madara was walking back and he said, yeah, this is probably pretty good for the Rubik. Rubik's actually had a pretty good game. Spartan, we've just seen bare bones items on him this game, but he has arcane boots already. They've gotten a lot of towers, and he's gotten a lot of experience. So he can actually make a lot of plays this game instead of just maybe shot calling and
Ursa
being the sacrificial support.
They have an Aegis. They're ready to go. Xiao Wei kind of baiting things out. And, oh, yeah, it actually doesn't blink forward. Misses the clap. Now he's going to be burrow struck up. Impaled as well. They still have a telekinesis. Bye-bye Aegis. And maybe bye-bye Xiao Wei as well. Skylark managed to hold him up with the spike carapace. A blink away by End will allow him to escape from that precarious position, but Xiao Wei will not be as lucky.
Spartan is just in the right place at the right time. Ursa was counting on that lasso to connect in order to be able to hit the Mirana, but he just lifted him right at that precise moment that Ursa was committing.
They immediately set up, they get a kill in bottom lane, and then bam, they TP up to the top lane with this Infest combination. This time around, Super, I don't think you're going to be able to escape. Even with the global silence, an arrow will nail him, finishing him off. Maybe next time, claims the head of the Alchemist.
So much unreliable gold lost there too. He's already picked up his Radiance recipe because he probably expected to die at that last engagement. So just, you know, if he has Relic, not that big a loss, but because he was sitting at 1,500 gold, 1534 to be exact.
Look at that. The global silence came up just like a second too late. It's possible that if that gank was just a little bit later, maybe the silencer stops that impale and the whole entire gank goes awry because of that.
Yeah, they need this Alchemist to get Radiance up. It's been a disaster with the Batrider just constantly dying to the Nyx Assassin and the Roshan shenanigans, just taking way too long for it and to claim that Aegis.
A scouting arrow by maybe next time will clear the fact that Madara is able to take the tier 1 tower for free.
And Thug's also getting big. He is the #1 net worth hero.
Yes, he is.
Maybe next time, very impressive game from him thus far. He hasn't been really good with his arrows. I would actually say his leaps have been much better this game too. He's always like pulling LFY. They want to go on to Mirana, but they just can't. But now that Global Silence is online, he has to be especially careful about how long he holds that cooldown.
Counter ward not quite in place. And LFY probably scouted that one out. The Roshan ward still up. So that may be a bit of lost vision for Finem, but they are going to try and play into this top lane. I think they know about the Nyx Assassin.
Dire has used scan. It will hit red.
Yeah, but they
Skylark-
don't have any counter vision up. There's only the silencer with counter wards down. So unless Skylark runs into this, which he is right now, they're going to be able to jump into him. And all of a sudden, he's carrying this payload. Madara is saying, what the hell did you get me into, Skylark? He raises himself up, but he can't really TP out fast enough. Zhao Wei is there with the lasso ready to go. Moonlight Shadow comes out. Arrow does nail end. They are going to draw the unstable concoction. That'll catch Madara in the end. They'll be able to get the burrow strike, but an imprisonment is there. Can Finem actually save this hero, though? They're going to try. Skylark already biting back. They manage to get the lasso onto Madara. They do manage to finish up, and in return, End's going to be picked up at a telekinesis and brought down. Now on the side, nailed by the arrow. Burrow strike picked up by Smart. Double bounce around into bouncing ball. Sand King up and down, but he falls in the end. 15-6 now. Finem with that buyback, and the plays from their OD do manage to turn that whole entire chase to their favor.
Defensive Astral just ruins ganks like that, and Spartan casts one too many spells. Is he going to be saved again by a defensive Astral? Oh my goodness, the last tick takes him down to 15 HP.
LFY, they've missed out on a couple kills like that. Look at that again, the imprisonment. LFY make the judgment. They're still going to go for this kill, but between the imprisonment, bounce back damage, and then the nukes that come in, even as they kill Madara, it's clearly not worth that exchange. Bottom lane, we already see a pickup on Zhao Wei. Skylark manages to catch him with the spike carapace into the fly. Batrider does pick up his blink dagger, though. A little bit of a silver lining in this very dark cloud of a game for LFY in Game 3.
They have to combo with the global silence. I think that's their best shot right now. You blink lasso someone before the OD can react, before Nyx can pop his spike carapace, and then you can also channel epicenter at the same time. No one's going to be able to stop you. There's no Yules. That's the only thing that can stop them unless they can get out of the global silence, which is nada at this moment. No BKBs, no Lotuses. Nothing like that.
Yeah, that really is a big upside, right? LFY have such amazing team fight power that they don't even necessarily need the blink dagger on Yao to be able to make a successful initiation. Thanks to that global silence. They have the Zhao Wei blink dagger, and they're gonna try and put a stop to Madara. Now, he's up here in the top lane. His spidey senses kind of seem to be tingling. Doesn't want to push too far out into that lane, but he may still be caught. He has an infest, and they have that tier 1 tower up. So if he rages, if he infests, but he's not fast enough for either one. Does manage to get the lasso, and with that Ursa just pulling him down. No opportunity for counterplay from Finem.
And finally buying time for Super, but Super, being the conservative player as he is, does not want to push out this T2. And we thought the Radiance was late last game, but this game, it's 19 minutes and he's still 900 gold away.
They're actually going to try and jump on. Oh, they're thinking about it, but now they see a TP. They had Burrow Strike, Telekinesis. They could have given OD a lot of time to beat on Super, but he backs up.
Just need a couple more minutes for this Radiance to finally come up, and then they can start split pushing and stop this Finem train from rolling them in their own jungle.
Man, Skylark's got a blink dagger of his own, so he is actually positioning himself so he can get some vision and potentially make the blink initiation on any hero that gets too close to this tier 2. You can even see them setting up with this scan, seeing if they can find such hero. Goes red, they back away.
Skylark's potentially trying to pop a smoke too close to the secret shot. Madara helping in there. Where are they going to go? Where is this Alchemist?
They did see Madara, thanks to this mid ward, move over to the right-hand side. I don't think they saw him invest inside Skylark, though. May still be caught by surprise. Skylark looking for his opening. It is nighttime, though. They're going to have a whole lot harder time finding that solo pickoff.
Yeah, if DDC managed to get the global silence before the stun onto him, it could potentially be a disaster considering how close he is to the T2 tower. And Alchemist finally, 37.79, just needs to wait about 10 more seconds patiently. Poor old Fluffy.
Yeah, the ward counter ward combination, they were already drawing preemptively. Yeah, I was drawing it. They said, hey, they're going to come up through here. They are confirmed by that. The odds counter word combination does see payload coming in. And nobody's going to be caught by that.
Super says, finally, I got my Radiant. Now the game can actually start for him.
Breathes a little bit of a sigh of relief, but then again, we saw the way that LFY were able to keep an Alchemist who had Radiance down and preventing him from getting that Manta, right? Because it's not until you have Manta, Boots of Travel, and Octarine where you're really able to get that pure split push Alchemist to the front.
They want him to get involved though. The radius is a big deal because now they actually want to kill him early on in the fights. Before you can just like ignore him, he doesn't do any damage. But if you don't kill him and then they global silence and then he regens up, you could you could get 4 or 5 man wipes. So this radius puts a lot more pressure on Adfinum to deal with the global.
That was a close one, Yao. That would have been a very unfortunate start to a team fight.
So Skylark, they don't have a sentry ward on the left side. They have one on the right side, but oh, actually, they do have one, but I don't know if it's going to catch out Skylark from where he wants to approach.
Yeah,
he's going in a little bit deep.
It's nighttime. They may not have the actual vision if he cuts far enough behind.
You have to respect the global silence. That is something that you do not really want to take a fight right there. Like outside the T2, sure, but outside the T3 against global, that's just asking for a wipe.
Yeah, and that's why Adfinum will show a bit of caution. They may be an aggressive team, but they're not done. They will back themselves away from a trap being set by LFY. Nice arrow that nails onto Yao, but that's more information than an opportunity for a kill.
And now Roshan is almost up too. And Adfinum, they're playing the longer game too. Mirana's kind of taking a step back and farming up her Ags. And then OD's going for the BKB. They need him to deal with the global silence.
There's that Sandstorm steal. So Spartan, hoping for a Burrow Strike, won't be able to grab that one. Maybe next time, though. This guy, he was so disruptive in the beginning of the game, and he also has an Aghanim Scepter already. Yeah. Speaking of items, there's a Desolator.
Yes, he does, and the Blink on Rubik. Like, Rubik is number, like, 4th to last on net worth, which is very surprising. Like, usually he's just 9th or 10th by a good margin, and right now he's keeping on pace with Xiao 8 and well ahead of Yao.
Yao is really the true 4 position of LFY at this point. He is beginning to get a Blink Dagger. It looks like everyone on both sides are going to get some pretty important items within the next few minutes. Blink Dagger for the Sand King. We also have a BKB that is coming up for End as well. Alchemist, always an item that's in his near future. Meanwhile, on the Adfinum side, we have a BKB that's going to be attempted by Thug. He's already got 2 of the components if he wants it. Fresh Desolator on the Lifestealer, so he's already hitting that power spike. And then a Aghanim Scepter coming in for maybe next time. So both these teams are actually going to hit a huge spike in their various abilities around this 25-minute marker. It all just comes down to then the initiation, which is kind of in the favor of LFY, right? They've got both a Sand King and a Bat Rider.
If Adfinum want to be able to win a team fight, they need to blow someone up instantly. You have to blink, carapace, and impale, and also pop out infest and rage open wounds at almost the exact same time. If you can get all those spells off before the global silence, it's actually not going to be that big a deal. But if they don't cast any of those spells, like if he's in mid cast impale and you cast a global silence, they will lose the fight very, very badly. And they also have the BKB up on OT, so it doesn't affect him so much relative to the other heroes. But
Madara, he's finally pops out, is going to try and bring down this tier 2 tower. They scout with an arrow just to see if they can catch Bat Rider. But LFY will give up on this tier 2. They've kind of bought themselves enough time. They seem to have slowed down Adfinum with their super defensive play. Nothing really has happened much when it comes to action, but that's on LFY's good side, right? They want to be able to play defensive enough that it kind of slows down Adfinum, and next thing you know, they've got an Alchemist with a Manta.
Oh, they're actually starting on Roche.
Yeah,
very bold play considering the team fight coming out from LFY. They do have a smoke available on Mirana. No heroes are showing it for LFY, but if N shows on this top, I think that's good. They're so happy.
Yeah.
He's just showed on the top lane.
Yeah, they absolutely estimated perfect timing to go ahead and do Roshan. There's so much of this defensive vision from LFY, but nothing that's going to be able to scout out this Roshan attempt. I want to point out, I'm not sure if we saw this, but there was this Observer Ward blocking out the Ancients and also giving a bit of vision in the Secret Shop area. That Observer Ward lasted the whole entire time. So that's a whole entire 6 minutes where the Ancients was not able to be farmed by the Alchemist.
And maybe next time showing off his Ags in the mid lane as he creeps it up. And this might actually mislead LFY to as where Adfinum is. They're way in deep.
Oh, they're going to be able to catch him. Already leading with the telekinesis. Global Silence goes down, though, and N will have his opportunity to pop the Enrage, but it is blown. Thug also pops his BKB, anticipating some action. Arrow misses, but N is still dead. Adfinum secured that kill 100% with the BKB usage, stopping N from being able to get away during his Enrage. Global Silence now being countered by Adfinum.
And they just totally misled them with that smoke. With maybe next time, he's a big damage dealer with the Ags now. And they thought, oh, he's showing a mid that are likely behind him or close to him, but they were 2 screens away. and just jumped in and now looking very comfortable. Sieging high ground against Sand King. Can they keep their eyes on him? Probably not, considering he's smoked behind their racks.
This initiation is so key for LFY. They've got that Blink Dagger for Yao, but the Blink Burst comes out. They manage to get the telekinesis into the air, into the pullback. Now the Epicenter comes through. A two-man burrow strike. Did he just manage to turn this one around? Yao's going to be brought low. Sandstorm's up. He's actually living, and the rest of that Finem are on the retreat. They've lost their ages, and LFY, they have the Ursa up in just a moment. Can they actually catch this hero? They will. Burrow striking him up, slowing him down. He pops the rake, but here comes the Ursa. He manages to almost get that life stealer. He invests inside, but they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait until that creep is low, and I think life stealer, his life is gonna come to an end here. They deny real quick. They know it's one of those two creeps. They deny the other one. He pops out now, tries to run himself in the trees, but he just can't quite make it. That's 4 down from Finem, and an age is gone.
Oh, yeah, making the play over there. He even got revealed in the smoke, but I think Finim's screen were just all in on their target, closer to the racks, and probably just a little bit off to that far right side of the map, and they just got destroyed by that epicenter. So
yeah,
looks like they initiate on the Batrider, but they don't see Yao in the corner to challenge Zebby. They ping him out. Spartan pings him out, but then Thug.
You could see Madara try to get to him to somehow, actually get to him in time and stop that blink, but he managed to complete it, and that burrow strike brings the game back for LFY. What a beautiful play.
Yeah, that would have been such a much different fight if he didn't get that out.
Dire's top tower is under
And that was without the global. So
Yeah.
like LFY, as stated before, their team fight is much more formidable. And Alchemist, he survived that fight. He is farming up very well now.
Finem doesn't look like they're going to slow down this game. Actually, whoa, TP. Madara doesn't actually complete it. Double Blink Daggers being picked up, though. Maybe next time he still managed to progress and farm. Now that he has that big farming item, the Aghanim Scepter, other items are sure to come pretty quick. So a blink for him, and a blink also for our OD. Mobility seems to be key for Finem to be able to get the initiation. You say LFY have the better team fight. Well, in that case, Finem need to even out the initiation factor. See if they can actually get the quick pick-off that allows them to win a fight on the offensive.
On top of that, they may need to reconsider who they give the ages to. Last time it was on the Lifestealer, but Lifestealer, he's a good, decent 3K behind the OD, and I think OD is just a much more important hero, but they're probably like, he has BKB, he's probably not going to die, but we saw what happened last fight.
Yeah, it does manage to get away from that push out in the top lane, maybe next time. Not able to catch him. This will be a forfeit of a tier 2, but it looks like very likely Super can claim the tier 1 at bottom lane. I'm not sure if Finem can move fast enough for that one, considering how low the tier 1 is.
Skylark just waiting for someone to peek out behind that T2 tower.
I don't know, it kind of looks like they're setting up for it. Thug's actually going back for a TP scroll right now, and sure enough, there they are. They're going to try and blink in, see if they can get a catch somehow with their blink daggers, but it's just not going to happen.
Dire's top tower is under
Even that outer tower, which was in deny range this whole entire time. And Finem do not want to give any semblance of map control to LFY.
I think Super will be happy with that. That means he can pretty much farm the top half of the map for a good 20, 30 seconds, and then now he has Mantis House, so he can push the bottom lane without fear of dying. And he is crawling up there in a net worth chart. And speaking of net worth, the graph just 3,500-ish in favor of Finem. Still a pretty decent lead for them, but because we think the team fight of LFY is stronger, it's still anyone's game.
Especially since they actually have quite a number of Aghanims to give away. Even the Ursa is a really decent Aghanims upgrade.
Yeah, I also like it on the silencer because just being able to cancel everyone's blink through the silence is also very useful.
18 to 11 right now. Alchemist may be the top net worth at 16,000, but there are 3 members of Finem hot on his tail. So this isn't necessarily just a race to beat the Alchemist's farm.
And Mirana, let's see if they walk by the illusion. It doesn't get blocked at all, so no pinging will come out there, but they're grouped up around their T1 in the mid lane, expecting a smoke. Dire has used scan, no one over there.
They really don't have a whole lot of aggressive vision. There's so many counter wards laid down by LFY. It seems to be very important for them to make sure there is no vision advantage for Finem when they go near these high ground pushes. So all this counter vision is actually making sure that Finem they really didn't have a whole lot of information. I'm not sure how they knew this smoke was coming, but they did make the correct read, dodge the smoke, and now it's their opportunity to push out as they see... actually, have they seen anybody top lane? Maybe just these illusions of the Alchemist. Even if they move top now, it's going to be far too late. LFY staying grouped up and on the conservative side.
And they're not too worried about this pace, just because LFY haven't really gotten any pickoffs. Like, it's not like OD and Lifestealer have been lassoed into an Ursa burst anytime. So as long as they're not losing their cores, and maybe next time is keeping up in the net worth, he's like very close to the Lifestealer, very impressive farm. Like, he's above end at this point. So like once he get like his Yules is going to be up his item next, maybe he wants to be the one to interrupt the sinking epicenter next time.
Yeah, he can. His Yule Scepter set himself up sometime soon. Here comes the push once again at bottom lane.
It also gets him out of the global silence, and it can counter the Batrider initiation before the BKB.
Oh man, each time they are actually trying to stop these pushes. They are still going to contest here. The jump forward, Spartan is going to be the target, but a BKB comes out from Thug. Couldn't actually save it, but he's targeted by Zhao Wei. But this lasso is just going to be the death of Zhao Wei. It is the rest of LFY trying back out, but Super stunned himself with the unstable concoction. A stolen acid spray will allow them to easily clean up that kill. A third one picked up by maybe next time in a dominating spree. 21-11, and finally at Finem. They couldn't really seem to get the wheels rolling, but
Skylark, he's ticking down to the curse.
My
He's
goodness.
so low.
No!
Another Astral.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah. And this fight's all from Thug again. Thug pops the BKB, immediately casts an Astral on the target that's focused down. So Global Silence is rendered fairly useless at this point because it's not like they have a lot of AoE spread damage when they're not initiating with the Sand King, they're initiating with the Batrider, and that just makes it super easy for Adfinem to counterplay it.
LFY were stalling out Adfinem for so long, giving themselves a grace period, but now Adfinem do manage to strike hard enough to force a buyback out of the Alchemist, and a tier 3 tower goes down as well.
Kind of cute that LFY is rocking the EGTP inside their base.
They are going to be able to stay alive for a bit longer, but again, you keep pointing this out, right? Adfinem are not too concerned about the game going late, right? They are still keeping up in farm on 3 of their cores.
Yeah, I like the Morana's play. He's been playing very, very safely. So, yeah, BKB, defensive Astral on the Rubik, and then what exactly are they going to do? Xiao Wei doesn't even have Firefly when he goes for his lasso. He's just trying to stop this OD from doing whatever damage he can. But with the stun on the Alchemist, he is just out in no man's land. And maybe next time has evolved into a very strong core as he picks off the 3rd hero.
Yeah, it seems like Xiao Wei maybe try to play a little bit more like a sacrificial role, just trying to jump in, lasso, and allow the rest of his teammates to escape. But unfortunately, Super, with that unstable concoction, stunning himself like that, he was just left out for the vultures.
Yeah, a lot of it was because of Astral. He's like, oh, okay, great, free kill on Rubik. Oh, wait, there's no target for me. He's Astral. OD is the BKB'd. There's a Rage Lifestealer, so he has no choice but to stun himself, unless you get a perfect Manta timing. And the ping out Roshan, and he would have loved to get 3rd Aegis, but Adfinem sweep in there. This might be one of LFY's last chance to contest Adfinem.
Yeah, especially with this Lincoln's being built by the OD. That will really put a wrench in the plans of LFY as they need that hard initiation to be able to catch this OD and bring down this damage dealer. But
they don't even have a smoke on LFY. There is no way that they can make this contest.
They just can't, between the combination of Gem, Vision from Skylark, and no smokes from LFY.
And they put it on OD, or sorry, they put it on Lifestealer. So OD, he still can get bursted down. He's the hero that you want to Epicenter into Burrow Strike, into Global Silence, because no one can really save him if he gets focused down. So that's what you're looking for if you're LFY. Burst down the OD. If he buys back, you are happy with generally the results after.
Presumably, though, when it comes to a high ground defense, Madara is going to be way out in front, right? The OD will be far enough back that he shouldn't be caught. They're actually going to just straight up initiate onto Madara as he goes into the high ground, forced into a rage, and will manage to grab him with the lasso. The pullback, Firefly not being used because they didn't want to stop by Spike Care base. Madara is now all the way back behind the tier 4 towers, has to Manta himself in order to get away with the help of the Moonlight Shadow. They will lose both the Rubik and the Nyx Assassin. With this Lifestealer almost going down, it's a little bit of curse. In fact, he's being chased still by the Alchemist, but looks like he's going to be far enough ahead.
And this Ursa is still very, very strong. And with a very respectable score of 4-2-4, he just crushed the Nyx Assassin. They lost a gem in the process too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the Nyx Assassin had that at him, so that is rather rough for Adfin. Unfortunately, they didn't have too much vision down beforehand, so they're not going to lose too much, but giving up that gem is going to mean a lot. They need to be able to take away all that defensive vision of LFY. They won't be able to do that for another 5 minutes with the gem still not in stock.
They need a Lotus Orb and Lincolns. One of the fallen teams today, NP, they often go for like multiple Lincolns when they seize high ground with a strong core. So they just like double Lincolns to life, so as he goes up, he rages. You can't do anything to him. You can't Abyssal him later on when the Earth gets it. You can't lasso him from
So you
Shell
think
Wait.
maybe wait for the Lincolns on Thug before you go high ground again?
Or you get Lotus Orb. I think one of those two is really, really important. It makes the jump way harder for LFY. Right now, they're like global. It takes a second for you to like pop your BKB and then defensively react with the Astral Imprisonment. And by that time, someone might have already died to the Ursa.
Moderate, let's see if he's a little bit quicker on the fingers here. As they look to go high ground once again, Global Silence is down for 35 seconds. That will be a bit of a boost. Unstable Concoction coming out. Rage going to be popped nice and early. That's a good sign for LFY, but can they actually hold without that big team fighting ability? Adfin might be able to make the initiation too. They're all smoked up in the background. It's going to wear out though.
And look for the arrow by, on the back
There's
line.
a jump forward. They actually managed to blow up the Rubik immediately. Now Yao's going to be targeted with a Dagon, but does manage to force himself over the cliff. Thug comes forward. They do manage to get that kill. The Aegis is gone for the Lifestealer as well. He's going to come back. And LFY are not going to fight just yet. Yule Scepter into an arrow here. It's going to come a little bit late, but it'll end instead. They actually try and go for Super, now turn on end, but he pops the Enrage. He'll be okay. The two Lifesteal Illusions will be the target of an Unstable Concoction. While the rest of Finem focus on that melee Rax. LFY forced back to the fountain will concede this melee Rax for now.
And the range looks like will fall. So the Global Silence, they hit in that 30-second window. That was a tough one to nail, and they committed their BKBs for a Rubik kill very early on in the fight.
Yeah, that was just... I mean, Rubik's been doing good, but is that really worth that kind of hard initiation, Ben?
Without the BKBs, I think it would have been okay, but clearly they didn't want any counterplay from like the Nyx Assassin blink in with a two-man stun.
Right.
But they'll take what they can get. It's also just unexpected. Like Thug is looking for the Astral on one of the big cores, like Lifestealer and or Nyx and or Mirana. Like the Rubik's probably the least of his concerns at the moment.
Zhao is trying to build into a BKB. He needs this item real badly as he can't really pop Firefly when it comes to initiation. Otherwise, he may just be counterblinked on by the Nyx Assassin with that Spike Carapace. So he can't really use Firefly until he has that magic immunity. A big upgrade in both damage and disable for the OD as he's got a Scythe of Ice.
That's really bad for Ursa and pretty much for anyone else with a BKB on their team.
Yeah. Especially with the burst damage that maybe next time's racking up. A support turn core as he is now ahead of Lifestealer with a Dagon 3.
And Alchemist building up for Shiva's Guard. It will help him versus the Lifestealer, but still the OD hits very, very hard at the moment. No Moon Shard on Thug just yet, so he's not really like that big of a threat. He's not going to kill people in like 2 or 3 seconds, but you know, longer fight goes on. More Sandy's Eclipse. We haven't seen a big one yet, but with these BKBs slowly wearing down on the dire side,
Another
big play.
potential game-ending push being set up by Adfin here.
Oh, he misses the Manta dodge, and Alchemist is stunned up, but no arrow, nothing else to follow it up.
Yeah, maybe it's... Do you think Adfin, again, feeling like they can go later? Feel like maybe they should wait for Roshan number 3 or 4?
I think with the way the last fight went, I think you should. You're already 1 Rax up, although against an Alchemist, Alchemist doesn't really care too much about a Rax being down, but I don't know. If you wait too long, the Bat Rider BKB is going to come out. I say it's much safer to just wait for the Aegis cheese, and then you can give both to the Lifestealer if you want.
It seems like the Greeks kind of agree, and now if they get the right kind of pick off with this combination of Skylark and Madara, then they could go ahead and go high ground, but until that happens, they will play it safe with 1 lane of Rax up. They're also lacking that gem that we were talking about earlier. Looks like they may try and just go for... Any hero going to pop out? No?
Yeah, if they had the gem, I would think that they could push high ground, but because they don't have the gem, they have to like, rely on an arrow, rely on like a blink lift from Rubik, who'll probably immediately perish.
Yeah.
So it's very risky for them to go into this because the Nyx is a huge wild card with Gem in play.
The creeps are pushing in pretty deep into this base. LFY still not showing anybody. Maybe next time. Very clearly had some alarm bells ringing in his head. Even popping the Moonlight Shadow just in case, a scouting arrow. But he will finally see members of LFY showing back up inside their base.
They don't have any safe way to push out the lanes. Like the Lifestealer is still threatened by like a Sand King into an Ursa double blink initiation. So like because the lanes can't be pushed out, I think I have to play very, very safely.
Oh, Spartan's not going to make it out. That TP almost complete, but Yao catches him first. So that will be a pick off. That smoke and it's for a 5-position Rubik. They actually going to try and save him. Look at him. Thug's coming forward with the imprisonment, but now he just gives himself up. He pulls himself into 5 members of LFY. A global silence goes down because they expect so much more. Madara will be forced into a Manta and starts running himself away. Can he actually be caught here? LFY give up on the chase. Back to base they go. A Rubik kill, a simple Rubik kill. And Finem commit the OD to try and save him, and that actually turns into a really big kill. I mean, I'm sure LFY are probably sitting there going, oh, that smoke for a Rubik, like, lame. That's not worth it at all. But all of a sudden...
Yeah, OD shows up. That's not really worth it for him. Maybe with a Linkens he can, because he won't get lasted. He could just, like, perhaps BKB and TP out and hope he doesn't get bashed. But, yeah, he's not happy about that one. He's like, why did I go in there? Save your teammate syndrome? Anyone?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that kill will give a bit of boost here to LFY as that gold net worth lead was topping out about 7,500, but it's going to start dipping down. Alchemist is beginning to get that fully 6-slotted. He's got Shivas, he's got BKB, Manta. We start thinking about some Aghanim Scepters here, Ben, or maybe some upgrades on some of the current items.
I think an Axe for the Ursa would be pretty good, just because he can use it to burst someone down immediately.
Yeah, we don't have any silences here on Ad Finem, so, well, we've got the Scythe of Ice, but all those other stuns, he's going to be able to pop Dane Rage during that, won't have to worry about the combination of stuns.
Yeah, I like it just because you can use it offensively instead of generally defensively. What a cute courier.
Very cute indeed from the defense. What else do we got here? Any other incoming items? Skylark's actually sitting on a point booster in 1,600 gold. That Nyx Assassin Aghanim's upgrade, that'll be another big swing up for Ad Finem, but it's kind of hard to use that Aghanim Scepter when it comes to an offensive push, right? You kind of have to set yourself up near the tier 3 tower just outside the range, but you're still susceptible to this Batrider pullback just as easily.
Yeah, I think that's really what's been crushing him in the team fight is the global and the Batrider ulti. So I think like much similar to how I think the game versus LGD progressed, like they need to itemize more against the global silence. Lotus Orbs, Lincoln Spheres, like these are really good versus the Batrider. And right now, like Xiaoyi has had a kind of a tough game, but he's still making some really game-breaking lassos that are crushing Ad Finem. For example, the one that just happened on the Outworld Devourer. But luckily for Ad Finem, it wasn't that close to the Roshan respawn timer. It is about 30 seconds away until the minimum respawn. Time until Roshan's respawn, 0 minutes.
So my question, Ben, is we have all these potential items coming up, but do you think any of them are more important than holding on to buyback? Is that BKB more important? Is that confirmed initiation more important than having a second life on a Batrider?
On the Batrider?
Yeah. Because at the same time, if you go in and you don't have that BKB and you make the lasso play, then what's the use of buying back, right?
Yeah,
Say
I
you
think
get stunned,
need
it's
it.
like, okay.
For Ad Finem, I'm not sure. Like, if they have the items, they can just tank they can probably not get lassoed, but it's much safer, I would say, to, I don't know, they don't have any BOTs. I think everyone in this game should just spend their items so you can contest the next Roche. If you, like, don't commit to that fight and you, like, don't win that Roche because you're like you don't have like I don't know, maybe a little bit of int for OD or maybe a little bit of armor for the Lifestealer, and you lose that fight and then you lose the Aegis and Roche, you'll be kicking yourself.
An AC on the way for our Lifestealer, rather big upgrade in damage. He still has yet to pick up the Abyssal Blade. That's really where the Lifestealer starts peaking out.
Okay, here we go. LFY, 50 seconds left on the OD's death. About 30 seconds until the minimum possible Roshan respawn timer. LFY trying to wrest control from Ad Finem over to Roshan pit. And
here comes that Aghanim Scepter.
There's no wards.
Yeah, I was actually sitting in place here. He will be the first Aghanim Scepter given away.
Double range on stun, really good. And
So,
he's been unable to farm this game, so doesn't even have an Aether Lens in its pocket.
The Abyssal Blade that we were just talking about for the Lifestealer, that item is about to be picked up by the Ursa quite soon, and that means in a man fight, right? Ursa's already winning. But when he gets that Abyssal Blade, he will have a much, much higher success rate when it comes to combining the Blink initiations of Yao, jump in with him, gobble up a hero. But who's the target? If you're looking at initiating for LFY, you see Adfinem moving forward his 5. What do you do?
Depends on where OD's position is. If he's too close, you go on him. If he's too far away, you go on the Lifestealer. Either one's okay.
So Adfinem kind of have to play this very, very special game where OD has to be close enough to be able to save the Lifestealer. If he's potentially initiated on Lasso, pull back to the tier 4s. He needs to be able to provide that save, but at the same time not be close enough that he's jumped on by the SK with now an Aghanim Scepter to his name, by the Blink Dagger Abyssal Blade of the Ursa. Yes, Moo and Fugs, the whole world is here to see the love between you two. I'm glad that's what we have to bide our time during this brief pause in this game 3 of Adfinem and LFY. The last game of the day to determine which one of these two teams is going to be moving into the semi-final.
I was looking at Xiaoyi's effigy. Golden effigy of Juggernaut in midair. Ancient Black Dragon, quite toothy he is.
Yep, no longer the goofy that he once was. Got a nice little upgrade. All right. We're going back into the game.
They're ready.
We'll see if this actually holds, though. Is this going to be the final pause? We're about to find out. LFY looking good.
So
Things are
dramatic.
golden.
Drum roll, please.
All right, the Abyssal Blade completed out. This means no buyback for N. So he agrees with you, Ben. Buy out all these items.
Yeah.
Commit for a final fight potentially around this Roshan, but it's going to be a late Roshan. So he may still have the time to farm up a buyback.
3 minutes. Wow, that is almost max. I think with Abyssal Blade, it lends more reason to build like a Lotus/Lincoln Sphere, and I'm very surprised that there's none on the side of Adfinem. Like the cores have to feel so scared about just getting Abyssal and bursted down by the Ursa. Ursa does a lot of damage right now. He hasn't died in a very, very long time.
A fresh gem and a Nyx Assassin with the Lifestealer inside of him are scouting things out. Now there's this laning ward in the bottom lane. There is also a Roshan ward, but there's also, on top of everything else, 5 members of LFY sitting around the Ancients. Now, they don't know this. We, of course, know it's not going to be another 2 minutes, but this staging may boil into a break. They actually get the initiation. Telekinesis onto the Bat Rider, try and get a jump first onto him. That's going to be the Sand King inside the pit down, but at the same time, Lifestealer, he's on the wrong side of a cliff. He will be saved by imprisonment. He's going to be able to come back out. He has the best ready to go. He does manage to turn. He's going to fight up to end. They manage to steal the lasso. They're going to be able to pop him. Abyssal Blade goes down. A 4-stab manages to save up Madara on the left-hand side. An imprisonment from the OD buys himself time. Is now in a stable concocted. Super will go down. Once again, he dies to his own stun. 4 down from LFY. A buyback only on the Alchemist.
That fight could have gone so close either way. Thug, I think, made the big plays. The camera was on the right side, but I was watching Thug the entire time on the left side. Firstly, he had the defensive Astro on a Lifestealer. He was about to die. He had no rage. There was no one close to him to infest. And then he baited them out. They didn't realize that the cheese was on him, and they committed so much to him. And then on top of that, he made Super stun himself with an unstable concoction towards the end of the fight. Masterfully played by the Outworld Devourer.
And this is looking like a second lane Brax. 10 seconds till the Bat Rider, but no lasso for 13. Alchemist is actually going to try and charge forward. They go straight for the OD, and they manage to snag Thug. They're going to be able to bring him down. A stun comes out for the Impale. They manage to catch N and has to pop his own BKB. Nice double stun from Yao. That'll stun up Madara, but they still manage to get a good silence on the Super. Xiaowei pumping low, maybe next time comes in, finish them off. The nukes are there. Super battling it up, and Epicenter comes in. Madara still raids. He didn't hit the stun, and Infest pop out. Unstable concoction, arrow blocked in. Maybe next time jump forward. They finish off Yao. A push forward. Super stuck in the trees. His Impale is down. LFY are gone. Game 3 is finished for the taking.
Damn, Spartan is so happy. And this was by far the best performance that I've seen from him on the main stage, on that Rubik. He was the first person to telekinesis Xiao8, the leader of LFY, and the last of the Chinese have fallen.
The analysts looked at Finem. They said this could be their tournament to make a strong show.